American Century Championships in Lake Tahoe, Nevada, as we are broadcasting live here at the beautiful Edgewood Country Club. You can catch all the action on the NBC Golf Network, and then on the weekend it switches over to NBC Sports. All the celebrities, luminaries, we call it the beginning of the football season. A lot of football people here, like the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks, Steve Spurrier, is with us here in the program. Coach, how you doing?
Saran, I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I've looked forward to this Lake Tahoe tournament 24 years now.
Yeah.
Coming out of the 25. I had back surgery back in '94, so I missed 1 year.
You've only missed one. Now, is that the best attendance? Somebody told me Elway was 25.
No, I think there's 4 or 5 that have been here all 25. Ruzioni, Jack Wagner, Elway,
Okay.
maybe one other somewhere.
Wow, all right, but 24 is not bad.
24 ain't bad. I was out of that.
With a legit excuse, too. Back surgery will do it. You can't play golf after back surgery.
Yeah, I was out right in that time, but yeah, I've been every year. Really look forward to it. My wife comes out. I got my son on the bag caddy, and his wife's out here, so it's sort of the last vacation before football season.
And American Century, great KC company. That's why we're here, and they do such a great job putting this tournament on. It's amazing how much you guys, the celebrities, the luminaries like yourself, how good a time you guys have out here.
Yeah, we do have a good time. One of the highlights for me is jumping in Lake Tahoe Sunday afternoon after the final round. So we've recruited a group of guys to do that. Shane Bettier usually goes with us. And then last year, Derek Lowe, the baseball pitcher, he and his wife jump in also. So that's another little thing we look forward to.
If people don't know, it's cold.
It's not as cold as it used to be.
Well, and this year I think you might be pretty good because I heard they got a low snowfall, so I don't think there's that much melt.
Yeah, the last few years it hasn't been near as cold as it was back in the early 90s.
Back when
it was cold back then.
So is that what you're telling the rookies now? Look, this isn't anything now. You guys got it easy. This is one of those back in the day stories.
No, they've been in. They know it's not too cold. Really.
All right, and I want to give you compliments on your fashion. I don't know if you heard us speaking with Amani Toomer, and he said that when you wear a bright green, yellow, what would you like, tennis ball green shirt, it's confidence. He says that's confidence. That says that's right. I have confidence. Is that what you thought?
Well, I don't know about that. Of course, NBC Sports and Edgewood, the American Century, gave us all a bunch of shirts.
Right.
So it was in my gift bag. And I said, I think I'm going to wear it out here today.
You still chose one. That's nice. You pull it off well, Coach. I'm impressed. It's a good look.
Well, thanks. It is a nice looking shirt.
Yeah.
And, American Century, they do a super job. They really do. And all the players really love coming out here.
Now we're talking to Steve Spurrier, head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks, and you come here fresh off the SEC media days. What do you make of a 4-day event, ESPN broadcasting live down there? You think is this the amount of attention it deserves, or is this
too much,
getting out of hand?
It seems like everything's is out of hand a little bit as far as just talking. Talking season. Gosh, the NFL draft, the ratings they got. Everybody just seems interested in what's going to happen instead of sometimes, well, let's wait and see what actually does happen. But I call it sort of talking season.
Right.
We're going to do that till about the middle of August, and then we're going to get serious and really start talking football and this, that, and that.
And you, the talking season has produced you as the favorite in the SEC East. Do you like carrying that?
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I guess Georgia, we probably barely nipped Georgia. I knew a lot of the media guys were picking them. But that's okay. We're going to try to win it. We won it in 2010 with a 5-3 record.
Right.
And then the last 3 years we've had a 6-2 record and beaten the division winner, but he went 7-1 all 3 years. Missouri last year, Georgia 2 years prior to that. So we've been a little snake bit, I think, because 6-2 in the East is usually a pretty good record.
Yeah. And Missouri, you mentioned Missouri last year when you were the one team to beat them, and ended their hopes maybe of making a run at a national title. But a great game and a great comeback from your team. Were you surprised at how good Missouri was last year, how quickly they got things going?
Well, we knew they were pretty good. There's no question about that. Everybody knew that. And they came out of the box winning and kept it going. And I called Coach Pickle and congratulated him when they went 7-1 and went to the championship game. They didn't have their best game there, obviously. Auburn really ran up and down the field. But Auburn was very good also. But Missouri nor Auburn were picked by any of the media last year. So as we know anybody can win it. Not the guys who are picked necessarily.
One of the big topics of conversation down there, and those things kind of take on in your talking season, put in a life of their own, was the up-tempo football. And Nick Saban and Brett Bielema were pretty vocal about, hey, this is a health concern. Where do you stand on whether or not there needs to be some slowing down of the tempo of some of these offenses in college football?
Well, what you need to do is your offense needs to stay on the field and keep that up-tempo dudes over there on their bench watching you play. That's what we need to try to do. Fortunately, when we've played Clemson in the last 2-3 years, they've only had 60 plays. We made a ton of third downs, a few fourth downs. And, that's how you slow those guys down. You leave them over there on the bench. But also, I remember I heard Gary Patterson, the TCU head coach and defensive coordinator also, I really like him. He says, hey, I use a no-huddle defense also. I mean, we fire in a defense as soon as the first play's over, and we mix it up. They don't know what we're in. And if they start changing the play, then we're going to start changing our defense. Simple as that. And football's gotten to that. You know, it's a guessing game. Try to have a good play on against the other guy. The other guy's trying to have a good defense on against your play. So it's a thinking man's game now, as well as a physical game also.
Well, we're talking to Steve Spurrier, head coach of South Carolina Gamecocks, former Heisman Trophy winner himself. When you were slinging it at Florida, did you see the offensive passing game going where it is today, or are you even surprised at how far it's gone?
Well, it's evolved over the years. There's more passing now, but still the run game is very important. Had running back Mike Davis. Had a big game out at Missouri last year. He caught 10 passes up. We got way behind, had to throw about every down. He caught a bunch of little dump offs and screens and so forth. But Mike had over, I think, close to 1,200 yards last year. So I've always believed if you get a lead, man, run that clock out and win the game. So we still try to do that.
So even the guy who's the inspiration for the fun and gun and is considered one of the great passing guys. In essence, you're still a run guy.
Yeah, we've run the ball more than we've thrown it at South Carolina, and we don't necessarily. A lot of these offensive coaches, it tickles me that they brag about how many plays they run, like 85, 90 plays. I thought you were supposed to brag about winning the game, didn't you? But nobody cares how many plays you run. It's who has the most points when the game's over. So and there's all kind of ways to do it. As we know. So, the objects to try to win the game. I'm sorry, I forgot his first name. How many plays either team has.
The SEC has chosen to kind of swim upstream compared to the other 4 big leagues and staying with 8 conference games, mandating a BCS opponent as well. Do you worry, the SEC plays 8 and the Big Ten plays 8 and the Pac-12 plays 8, Big 12 plays 8. Recent history tells us the SEC strength of schedule is going to win out, and for this new 14 playoff, they're going to go in. But if they're playing 9, do you worry that maybe this conference resting on its laurels a little bit, not going ahead and playing 9? I know you've been very vocal about the schedule and how it's. And I agree with you. I think it's unfair with the way it's set up right now. Do you think this is maybe could end up biting some SEC team when it comes to getting that playoff? Just playing 8.
No, I don't think so. It's always interesting. Everybody talks about strength of schedule. They say, if there's an undefeated team over there, they say, well, he's going to the championship. Then nobody's ever beat him. This Ohio State, Big Ten's been a little down like this one. They've been undefeated. They've been ranked 2 or 3 in the nation all the time. They're undefeated. Nobody knows about who they play. So I don't know, but a lot of us, we play Clemson all year. Florida plays Florida State, Georgia Tech. So we've got 9 big games. 3 maybe some games we can schedule against our in-state smaller schools, and they're very appreciative to come to our place, get a big paycheck.
Sure.
It helps keep their football program going. And I think that's important to keep playing Furman and Wofford and South Carolina State, some of those schools, because they're really appreciative. It really helps them.
Coach, Jadeveon Clowney, #1 overall pick, is his career going to be a record-setting career?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. He's the best pass rusher I've ever seen, especially in college. And I hope Houston start using him as a pass rusher. I keep reading all this outside linebacker stuff, but I think he needs to I used to say put his hand on the ground, but he actually rushes with 2 hands.
Yeah.
He's a 2-handed starting guy. if he was on my team, that's what you got. Rush your passer. I don't think we got him.
All right, Steve Spurrier's with us. My final four quickies for you, Coach. Let's start you with this one. What's your best round of golf ever?
I actually had a 66 at Whispering Pines,
Wow.
North Carolina, in 1987.
1987.
That's still my best ever. I played with Bob Harris, the voice of the Blue Devils.
Okay.
So he's my eyewitness to it.
Okay. Best player you ever played against?
Best golfer?
No, football player.
Football now. Oh gosh, I don't know if I can best one.
Too many? Okay. All right. I'll take that. That's fine. Tell me, do you have any Tampa Bay Bandits gear?
Yes, I still have an old jacket.
Awesome.
Sort of in the closet, but a lot of my other old jackets from Duke days, Florida days, and so forth. So I'm sort of a collector. I have a tough time going with those memories.
I love the Bandits, man. I loved your team. Gary Anderson running all over the place. The uniforms were cool. Everything about that, man. I miss the USFL.
Yeah, we had a good little league going there. And, some of the owners messed it up. They started paying too many guys, too much money. So then all of a sudden everybody was losing money. Trying to merge with the NFL. It didn't work. Yeah, that football. People like football.
Yeah.
I think that league might have survived if they kept down where they started, but it didn't work out.
No, great movie history. All right, and finally, Johnny Manziel will or won't be a success in the NFL?
Oh, I think he'll be a success. Definitely. Johnny's a competitor. This guy, you gotta let him go play now.
Yeah.
I'd probably would like to have that Evans receiver.
Yeah.
I've never seen those plays that Johnny'd run around for about 4 or 5 minutes and throw it up there. About 8 guys go after it, and Evans comes down there. So I don't know if that play's going to work. I know it's not going to work now because Evans is taking I guess.
Yeah. So
he could go get it.
Yes, he could. Well, Coach, hey, thanks so much for your time.
Good talking to you.
Have a great weekend out here, Coach.
All right.